Welcome to the Real Estate Syndication Show. Whether you are a seasoned investor or building a new real estate business, this is the show for you. Whitney Sewell talks to top experts in the business. Our goal is to help you master real estate syndication. And now your host, Whitney Sewell.
This is your daily real estate syndication show. I'm your host, Whitney Sewell. Today, our guest is JD Bates. Welcome to the show, JD.
Thank you so much for having me.
JD has climbed the corporate ladder as COO, PM, CMO, as well as a member of the board of directors with companies in the United States, Costa Rica, and Panama. His passion for innovation led him to create Five Sigma Technologies, the parent company of NotePros.com. Now the company has grown, providing high-end digital optimization and software solutions to clients around the world. JD, welcome again to the show. I love technology personally. I love finding ways that we can automate things and be more productive, so it takes less of my time, but also, just being as professional as possible, as we're working and finding new clients, working with current investors, all those things, right? But so I want to learn more about this platform, and I want to hear more about, how you got into this business, what pushed you to develop Note Pros and what that does. But give us a little more about, who you are and get us up to, this platform and how it can help us.
Of course. So yeah, basically, I started Five Sigma Technologies around 4 years ago, right? And then I was working in this other company, right? I was working in an online marketing advertising company in California, and but I always wanted to, have my own gig, right? I always wanted to be able to create something of my own. So I went off, and then I started just basically freelancing. So I just basically started freelancing for clients, right? And I started doing like websites and social media stuff, like basic freelancer tasks, right? And then one of my first clients was a note investor, right? So which is obviously, as you guys know, like a niche, a segment of the real estate investment, right? So I started getting to know this client very well. And then this client started to refer in some other clients. And then I really started to get to know that niche, right? And as I started getting more clients, the company started growing. And then one day, one of these clients started to propose like, hey, wouldn't it be cool if we could create a tool that could do like a scraping thing, because when we do our due diligence, it takes a lot of time. I'm spending a day and a half, 2 days going through a list of assets, right, that we might want to invest. Can we create like a little tool like that? Also, yeah, sure. Let me take a look. And that's how it basically started. It basically started like a very, very simple tool. And now it has grown to be like a full-fledged, real estate platform that you can do your due diligence, you can do your asset management, and even, we're still offering, basic services that we were offering, right? Like the web presence, websites, and all that stuff.
Nice. Awesome. Well, I want to get into that a little bit because all those processes, whether it's due diligence or asset management, it's crucial, right? There's so many steps that are just crucial that they're completed and that they're completed well and ultimately by professionals or people that, hopefully have some experience, right?
Exactly.
But we all need systems to help us to make sure we're checking every box because things can definitely be easily overlooked. But let's dive in there a little bit. Tell us, how can the system like this help us with due diligence or asset management? And maybe you want to stick to one of them. I know you mentioned like initially like scraping assets during due diligence. Tell us what that means, or jump into the due diligence process specifically and how this can help.
Right. So the platform has 3 modules, right? I call it the initial due diligence module, which is a basically like a window where you can copy paste up to 50 addresses at a time, right? So you copy paste those addresses and then you just click analyze in our tool, and then it's going to take probably around a minute to go through those, right? And then once it's loaded, we're going to give you a bunch of data here. We're going to give you finished square feet of the property, the low value, the high value, when it was last sold price, tax assessment year, the type of house, the year it was built, the square footage. We did an integration with Google Maps, realtors in the area, We also have some city data like county, what county is in, the population of that county, the poverty statistics of that county, the occupancy status of, how much is it occupied, the housing vacancy status, and the tenure. So all of that data you can get from, in just one scrape, 50 addresses at a time, and then it's going to load a sheet, a full sheet with all that data for each property. So all of
Wow.
that is done in less than a minute.
That is, I mean, it's so much great information, right? I mean, just at your fingertips. What about commercial real estate as well? Will it work for larger properties also?
It will work in any address. So you put in the address and then it will scrape, and then if it has data, it will show it. So yeah, mostly these ones are for residential, but yeah, it works with any address.
So I was thinking about, all this data that it's pulling. Where is it pulling it from? How do we know it's, good sources and that's
Right.
accurate?
Of course. Well, I'm pulling it from a lot of places, right? For example, like Zillow, Trulia, the Census Bureau. I don't know. Probably have like from all of those columns, I probably have around 10 APIs, different APIs. So we're grabbing them from other sources that we're able to connect with, right? It's not like we're going to, I don't know, we have a database and then, we pull that from database. We don't have that, right? We actually pull from companies and sites that have all this data updated constantly, right? So,
Nice.
So it's not like it's sitting on our server, just sitting there. We're just pulling it from sites that actually, do this for their business as well.
Okay, so we have the initial due diligence, where you're putting 50 addresses at a time, and then it's going to provide all that information. Is there more to that initial due diligence, or what's the next
Right.
model?
Then the next model, the next step, it will be like the secondary due diligence, right? So, like I said, this one is in bulk, right? You can get all this initial data for all these properties in bulk, but then if you want, you can. The idea of this first module is for you to kind of filter out the properties that do meet or do not meet your investment criteria, right? So let's say, for example, you from all of those 50 properties, you like 10, right? Okay, this 10, they meet my investment criteria. I would like to get more information on this one. So we're providing detailed reports on properties, right? So we have 10 different reports. We have property details reports, total view reports, transaction history reports, open lien reports, transaction chain and lien reports, sales comparables, tax status, foreclosures, and document images. So all of those reports are detailed reports of properties, right? Where you can get the owner information, last transfer and conveyance, the last market sales, more detailed data on just a single property, right? So this is definitely more like if you want to go into depth into each one of the properties that you do like, right? From your first stage of the diligence.
Okay, nice. Yeah, so we have to filter it down, and we're going to get closer and closer to what we are looking for, or maybe even closer to the type. Maybe we already have a property under contract, right? And we're trying to find comparable properties, or I'll say close to getting under contract anyway. And we're trying to narrow down those comparable properties, and so we're trying to filter out ones that don't meet that criteria, or maybe even we're just looking to buy, and we're filtering out our criteria. Okay, so then there's a third model. Is that right?
Right. So for example, this is the, you did all your due diligence, you went in there, you made the investment. Okay, you got it, right? It's yours. Okay, so on the third module of our platform is the asset management platform. So this will allow you to manage how basically the Fortune 500 companies manage their portfolio, right? You're going to be able to input all the information of your assets, your investors, your JVs, and then all of that information is going to be on a dashboard, and then you're going to be able to create financial reports. You're going to be able to give access to your investors so they can see all the data with your investments with you, right, independently. So when you create like an investor profile, you create with their email, and you give them a password, right, so they can log into the platform as well. Because a lot of people, they manage their portfolio on Excel, right? And they just send quarterly reports to the investors, which is fine. But you can go a little bit further and try to keep it on the cloud, create a lot of different financial reports with us. So like I said, for example, you can manage users. So if you have a property, a portfolio manager, you can create an access for them. Like I said, you can create access for investors, manage your JVs, manage your assets. And then on the financial section, you can manage your investor cash account. So all the financial movement for investors, you can manage them through there. The asset income and expenses, you can also manage them through there. And any general ledgers, you can manage them through there. And then that is going to, give you reports, investor reports, JV reports, asset reports, cash flow reports. So I could go probably an hour, and then we could probably do like another show just on the asset manager because it's so robust, right? But it gives you so much data, and it's on the cloud, and then investors can, access this information. And then, on our dashboard, where you're going to be able to see global, what is your investor investment, the total invested, your profit, your ROI, the total ROI, annualized ROIs, and how many active assets and closed assets do you have.
Nice. Some great information. It's something that I work with my team often to figure out, some KPIs, right? Some things that we can track, things that we, so we can know that we're improving, so we can set some goals in the future. And hey, we know if we're getting there or not. I was thinking about some of the things you were mentioning there, but whether it's, even property specific, on the ground operations, or even, just the capital raise process and meeting investors and following up with them and developing those relationships. There's so many things that we need to track, but asset management is so crucial, right? I mean, your investors have already invested. The property has to perform, and you have to keep track of it. So, it can't be like this monthly thing. You call somebody and figure out, what's going on. So I love just the detail. So what about, you talked about investors having access. When you say investors, does that mean like people that are the operators, that have access, or is this like investors who are investing with you? They can also have access. They
Correct.
can. What does that look like to them? What is that when they go in there? Is it a different type of portal or a different type of dashboard for an investor like that, or is it mostly kind of the same for everyone? I was just thinking about like the investor experience versus the operator experience.
Right. They will basically see at the same dashboard that you have as an admin. Like they will see their investment, the total investment, their profit, their ROI. Their annualized ROI. They will be able to see the statements of their account with you. So they will be able to see everything that you see, but only to the assets and deals and JVs that they have with you, right? So when you're creating, an investor account, when you're creating a JV, you're assigning, who is part of this deal, right? So you choose the investors that are part of that deal. And then, that is going to hook them up to their account, to their view. And then when they log in, they only will be able to see those deals that they're related with your company.
And then what they're looking at, I assume, is data that you or your team has put in there, right?
It's the same, right? It's the total investment, the assets, how the JV is performing, the ROI, all of those things, right? That the usual suspects of the reports for your investors are there. It's just that they're going to be able to log in and check them out whenever they want. They can generate a report, an Excel report, a CSV report, and download it. So it gives you so much more credibility when you have a tool like this to an investor, right?
Sure.
Just like, hey, listen, all of your information is on the cloud. You can access it whenever you want.
From people who have signed up and are using a platform like this, what have you seen? How does it transform their business? In the most or the best? Or what do you see happen, or what were their struggles before?
Well, I think it's mostly so when I created Five Sigma, it's a digital transformation company, right? So this is basically what we want to be able to give to real estate investors, be able to digitalize your business, right? Your due diligence process, your reporting process when you're looking into investment. And once you have it, how are you operating, right? How are you be able to get all this data to make better decisions, to scale better, and just basically being able to manage your business how you should on 2020 2021, right? The future is now. And then a lot of people are still operating on Excel, on without a website, with their Gmails. And we want to be able to provide all this digitalization to their business at a very low cost.
Nice. Well, yeah, again, I love technology. So I love looking into platforms like this and seeing how, not only can we improve our efficiencies and operate, properties better, but also just the user experience, the team's experience, but even more importantly, the investor's experience. If it's something, like you're talking about where they have access, you always want it to be just very easy to use. You want to show the information as simply as possible, but be very detailed, and professional at the same time. So
Exactly.
I love looking at things like that. JD, what are a few things that maybe daily habits that you have that you're very self-disciplined about that's helped you achieve success?
Well, you definitely have to be able to follow through with deadlines, commitments. Communication, I believe, is the most important part of any business with your team and with your clients and your investors. So a daily habit is basically go through, okay, who am I speaking to, or who haven't I been speaking to lately, right? And then just talk, have a call, communicate, and get that flow going. If you go through a day or two without having a call, things are not moving how they should. So I really like to be able to, have calls at least once a day, have meetings, and be able to just be organized with those things, and set the goals, and operate your business in a way that you're delegating things so you can have free time to communicate and be more creative on your business. Which is how that's the entrepreneur's job, right? It's creative. It's fully creative job when you're an entrepreneur.
For sure. Wow. Now, so is there a piece of technology outside of this that has helped you all to grow, or that's been helped you all to be productive?
Sure. Well, I use a project management platform called Teamwork. So Teamwork projects. So we manage all of our projects through Teamwork. All the communication is on Teamwork. So say for example, we're on a call right now, and then some things come up. Okay, we have to do these 3 or 2 tasks, right? And then after that call is done, I probably will have notes, or we'll have somebody from my team on the call. And then right afterwards, those tasks will be assigned on Teamwork to a responsible person with all the assets that are needed, with a due date, and then that goes into the queue for all the team to work on.
What's the number one thing that's contributed to your success?
I guess passion, determination, be able to get yourself back up when you're down. It's a marathon. So yeah, we just have to keep going until you go wherever you think you're going, or you just trust the process and enjoy the ride,
I can relate to all those things. That's for sure. JD, how do you like to give back?
Well, I do like to give back, with my team, the person that are working with me. I don't know, people around me. I want to be able to, be the best person that I can. I don't know, just be a good person, and that's how you get back to all the people. You don't really have to have a charity or anything else, or give stuff away. Just be the best person that you can be.
JD, I'm grateful to have you on the show and learn about Note Pros and how it not only helps note investors, but also just, other people who are buying hard assets or real estate as well. And so and learning about the 3 models, especially, the due diligence and asset management pieces of any real estate business is so crucial. And so I love automating those things or having ways our team can better communicate, and all that you talked about is so important. Tell us and the listener how they can learn more about you and Note Pros.
Well, visit notepros.com. That's Note Pros with a C at the end, notepros.com. And yeah, just there's a demo there, or a demo or two demos there. You can try it out for free. Like, for example, the asset management model, you can try it out for free for $1. I mean, not for free, for $1 for 3 days. So you can check it out for $1. And then the asset management module, we have a freemium version. So if you have less than 5 assets, you can start trying it out for free. You won't get to give access to investors and stuff like that on the premium version, but you will be able to start loading your assets in there, and like forever, right? So if you have 5 assets, only 3 or 4 assets, and you're just starting out, you can use it for free. And yeah, go ahead and check it out. And if you have any questions, you can just reach out to me, to jd@nodepros.com.
Thank you for listening to the Real Estate Syndication Show, brought to you by LifeBridge Capital. LifeBridge Capital works with investors nationwide to invest in real estate, while also donating 50% of its profits to assist parents who are committing to adoption. LifeBridge Capital, making a difference, one investor and one child at a time. Connect online at www.lifebridgecapital.com for free material and videos to further your success.